आसरा उसकी ही तू पकड़ शरण विश्वपति के ध्यान में। जैसा किसी का हो अमल वैसा ही पाता है वो फल। जैसा किसी का हो अमल वैसा ही पाता है वो फल। दुष्टों को कष्ट मिलता है शिष्टों का होता दुख हरण विश्वपति के ध्यान में। आप दया स्वरूप है आप ही का
सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। So did you all have a group discussion last time, and are there any questions from there? No? Okay. So,
Janki ji, we had a group discussion last time.
mhm.
So can we discuss the answers to that?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yes. Just give me a second. I'm bringing it down.
Okay.
Janki is taking some time. Can we discuss something else in the meantime? It's got
No,
stuck.
I can
Yeah.
share it. I can share it. Yes.
Okay.
We have only a 1 hour class, so whoever's doing whatever is you're doing, please be prepared for stuff.
Is the screen visible?
Yes, sort of. Yes.
Okay, so um, the first group, the members were Deepraj, Kalyan, Ramchandran, Sangeeta, Prashant, Milind, Dilip, and uh, Prashant Nair. And the questioner was Kalyan. The question was, how does one develop the quality of absence of malice? What are the practical actions slash steps that needs to be taken for developing this quality?
We can't see the question, Deepraj, and why is the monitor not presenting?
Uh, the monitor is not presented.
Okay. So there was no consensus. How does one develop the quality of absence of malice? What are the practical action steps that need to be taken for developing this quality? Okay, so where is Kalyan? It's our questioner here.
I can adopt the question.
He's not there. He's not there.
Okay, so then we don't take up the question.
I can adopt the question.
Oh, you're adopting the question?
Yes.
Okay. So how does one develop the quality of absence of malice? What are the steps that need to be taken for developing this quality? Okay, so where is my questioner? To see my questioner. I can't see you at all, Deepraj. You can remove the question now from the screen. So how does one develop the quality of absence of malice? Firstly, none of these qualities can be developed. They are the consequence of spiritual growth. But we can learn to implement some of it, which is just as a practice. It's not like you're going to do it. So step number one is to find out, why am I feeling a sense of malice? So why do I feel malice? Because I have a desire that is interrupted. I cannot feel malice unless I have some desire being interrupted. So why not I first examine what is my desire and how I can fulfill it? Instead of feeling malicious towards anybody, negative towards anybody, why not I fulfill my desire that is a little more productive? So step number one is identify which is the desire which is causing the malice. Step number two is try to fulfill it. Step number three is recognizing that the other person has got nothing to do with my feelings. If I have negative feelings, that is my selfishness, got nothing to do with the other person. So I have to detach my feelings, remove my feelings from my causality in my mind is this person is doing this, therefore I am feeling malice. Or I'm feeling negative towards that. That causality I must break. So once I have managed to break that, with the help of fulfilling the desire, so one is analysis, that has got nothing to do with him or her. Second is fulfill your desire. No, instead of saying, oh, how bad he has got something, you go get it yourself. And get it yourself doesn't mean you'll get it tomorrow, but work out a plan, a program. Okay, maybe in the next 2 years I will achieve this, whatever. You know, what is that desire? So we don't know how long it will take. So so these are the two sides to it. One is the intellectual analysis about it's got nothing to do with the other person. That I must understand. And obviously go find out what is the problem within you, what is that desire, and then fulfill it. Try to fulfill it. Have a plan or program to fulfill it.
Thank you, Janvi.
I have a question to this one.
Mm-hmm.
Here they're talking specifically of the malice, which is the emotion to hurt somebody. This is not about jealousy. So,
Okay, can you define malice? Can you look up the dictionary and define malice? What is the
Yeah. Malice is a wish to hurt other people.
That's it? That's all it's written?
Yes. Shall I put it up? Okay. Yeah, so malice is basic. Oh, a wish to hurt other people. So that's the Oxford Dictionary
Show
meaning.
more, go down. No, what is this? It's such a bad thing.
A desire to cause pain, injury, or distress to another.
Hmm.
An intent to commit an unlawful act or cause harm without legal justification or excuse. So basically, uh, it's it's uh, it's much more than just pure jealousy that we normally discuss as a result of. Just 1 second. What is happening? Sorry.
Okay, so how can you want to do harm to another without feeling negative towards the other? So if you've taken out the feeling of negativity, where is the question of action? The second definition is, of course, a legal one, which is without malice, normally in legal terminology, how you use it. But if you're not feeling negative, then question of causing harm won't arise. Anytime you feel negative towards somebody, that's when you want that person to be harmed. Otherwise, you don't go around wanting people to be harmed.
But the solution you suggested was to try and get what they have yourself.
No,
Correct?
no. Find out what is the desire which is being interrupted. Which desire is being interrupted? What they have is not the point. What is your desire which is being interrupted over there? So two parts of it. One is you have to recognize that your feelings of negativity have got nothing to do with the other person.
Right.
That is an intellectual analysis. The second thing is, why did that feeling come in you in the first place? Is because you wanted something or a person wanted something and was not getting it. That's the only reason you feel negative towards people.
Yeah, but my question is that could result in two things. One is jealousy or envy, and second is malice. But malice seems to be a much stronger emotion. I mean, jealousy, maybe envy you can overcome by trying to work towards what they have and what we do not have. But malice seems to be much stronger, isn't it? No?
How can you, if you have cut it off at negative feeling itself, where is the question of malice? I mean, the intent to harm another, you are intending to harm because you're feeling jealous or you're feeling angry or you're feeling, I don't know, made to feel to look down upon yourself. I mean, multiple reasons why you want to harm the other person, right?
Right.
So you're cutting it out at that feeling point. If you don't feel negative, where's the question of action negative?
Thank you.
Yes, Mamita?
Just yesterday, I was telling someone that I hope the worst happens to so and so, and I thought it was some kind of a moral outrage. Like, how can you even think like that? So it was more like a negative reaction to their, what I thought, I still think is their malice. So, what is that desire? I mean, the desire to hurt someone because you feel that would be justice served.
Justice is not revenge. That is a very important thing. When you wish that the other come to harm, there is no justice there. Justice is a very, very objective thing. That is why we are against mob justice, right? So if a person is caught thieving, for instance, or doing any negative action, the mob is not expected to take action. You are supposed to go take him to the police. That's justice. But when you start hitting him yourself, then that's revenge. So that feeling of moral outrage is usually ego. I am superior to you. So we all feel like that, right? That, oh my God, look at this awful thing this person has done. Putin has started a war, or Trump has thrown out the illegal immigrants or legal immigrants. I don't know, whatever. You feel like, or Netanyahu has done almost a genocide. You feel that how can these people behave like this? However, we really don't know what are the facts of the matter. I don't know whether you felt it towards a public figure or someone you know personally, but the fact always is we don't know.
It was more like I felt unsafe being in the neighborhood of that person.
Oh, very nice. So now you've seen what the problem is. The feeling of lack of security because of whatever is happening. So Omkar, this is great. This is, this is a good thing. With women, at least, is a good thing. They identify where the problem is. So I mean, in the sense, I shouldn't do this gender bias, otherwise again Mahesh will start. So no gender bias. But the thing is, you speak this honesty with yourself. I felt insecure. Like suppose I was a minority in some place, and the majority was behaving in a very unruly manner. How would I feel? Then I would hate that majority, right? And then I would take action to protect myself from this. And this is how communal disharmony takes place. Because nobody stops to say, is this so? You see, that justice element goes out when we think it is justice. It becomes revenge element instead of justice. We will say, oh, this terrorist is from this community, and this community has to be whatever we have to say. But actually, whether or not he is from any particular community is not the point. The point is, yes, if he has committed a criminal act, he will be treated by the criminal justice system of the country. So which community he is from is immaterial. He could be any. So that divorcing of the emotion from the act is what is the bottom line of objectivity or justice in this case. So you answered the question, is that self-honesty is what we do. And then you get then you really get it. It is my feeling of this that now I want, in among the uneducated people like staff and all, they'll say, uske muh mein kide ho jaye, or something like that they'll talk. Right? So where is it coming from? Some deep emotion was triggered. Now you're very good because you instantly said, okay, this is the emotion that was triggered. Now watch out for that, because that is your weak link now.
Yes, and also I think so it's on the basis of or help telling me how about another person in the neighborhood and how they were made to feel uncomfortable. But I think I felt unsafe, but instead of doing something about it, I think I don't want to do anything about it, take action directly. Maybe that is
not even not want to take action. You may end up taking action, but never from that trigger of being unsafe.
But it is unsafe, no? If this person is.
Yeah, but don't function from that trigger. It is,
but how do we
unsafe as an
something?
objective fact is different from I'm triggered by the fact that I'm unsafe.
I'm not getting it.
One thing is a recognition that under these conditions I'm not safe. That's just an objective recognition. Another thing is the feeling of being unsafe, and that's what's triggering me to say or do things. That is going to make me further unsafe, because now I've lost my head. So I'm not going to be able to handle the situation. So never from the trigger of emotion, always from facts, from reason, from good judgment. That trigger is a very dangerous thing in our life because it can make us like do anything.
Yes. Thank you so much.
So this is a good lead in into the topic we are going to actually discuss today, which is the concept of illusions. The way the world can appear to us and we so unstintingly take it to be that way. Now we, as Vedanta students, are going to put a question mark on it and say, is it that way? The concept of illusions is not trying to deny your reality. The concept of illusions is merely trying to question, is it that way? It's not a denial, it is a question. It's not negating it, it is asking. Now, this is a difference that only a serious student of Vedanta will be able to fathom. If a person says this world is an illusion, he doesn't know what he's talking about. It's like a child saying, I want to get married. He doesn't know what he's talking about. If a person says this world is not an illusion, he is completely involved in what is going on. He sees the reality of things that hold no reality. So, as a philosopher, as a Vedantan, you are actually poised, very delicately poised between these two sides. And this whole discussion that we're about to undergo is to help us be poised in the center. Is the world an illusion? If you think you are going to answer it with yes and no, then you've not understood the philosophical method at all. The philosophical method is to be able to question something, to look at something that you are seeing and say, is it so? Is it? Can you make a little dent in the belief of that reality? It could be, I think this is a very bad man. Okay, can you ask yourself, is it so? I think he's a very good man. Is it so? Can you ask the question? I think everybody must learn Vedanta. Is that so? I think Vedanta is silly and nobody should study it. Is it so? This capacity to be able to question your deepest beliefs, your superficial beliefs, is the philosophical quest. The problem with us is that we are very convinced of whatever we are convinced about. And that is the killer of philosophy. So now be very careful in your comprehension of this chapter. It's a very, very important chapter in your Vedanta studies. Obviously, it holds some of the most basic, most fundamental things. This entire section, as you know, is pure Vedanta. I mean, earlier we did all the practical bits and now we're doing pure Vedanta. So now we've come to illusions. Be very careful in your understanding, because if this understanding is not correct, then the actions will also be incorrect based on this. So let's start.
Hariom, ma'am, just one doubt before.
Any doubt? Okay, go ahead.
See, we have this no thought, no world, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it is not the reverse, no? No world, no thought.
No world, no thought.
Thoughts
If
will
it is
still be
true
there.
that there is no, if it is true that when there is no thought, there is no world, then it is probably true that if there's no world, there'll be no thought. What will you think of if there is no world? I mean, you have to have a thought of an object, right? And you said there is no object. Then how can you have a thought? What's your thought of?
So my thing is that we have that 4 billion years the world will get over every. So if it gets over, everyone will get realized by default.
Shortcuts. This Vedanta students always looking for shortcuts. Acha, chalo, ab pralay aa gaya. We will all be realized. No, my dear. It is known as the day and night of Brahma. When Brahma is awake for 4.32 billion years, this world exists, and then he goes to sleep. Then after sleep, what happens?
It starts again.
Right, so how can you be realized?
So for that time period, maybe we are realized.
We are just in deep sleep. Everything has
Okay.
gone back to the unmanifest state.
Okay.
So Janki ji, in deep sleep also you don't have thoughts, so there's no world, right?
Correct.
Okay.
There's no world, there's no thoughts. Because thought and world has to always coexist. If there's a thought, there you have a world. If you have a world, you have a thought. If you don't have a world, what are you going to think of? When you think of any thought other than the world, what about the thought of God? Is it of this world?
But Janki ji, you are also a part of the world, no? Your thought.
Yes, okay, but first answer my question. You are also part of the world means what? You are also part of the world. See, what do you mean you're part of the world? First,
Now,
is thought of God a thought of the world?
Yes,
yes.
Why?
because you're putting the characteristics of God all over the world. You think that is probably God.
Yes, because thought of God is not God. Correct. Because a representation, correct. So therefore, thought of God is also part of this world. Thought of Vedanta, part of the world. Thought of the self, part of the world. But it's still in the world, not gone to the transcendent. Yes, Elsie, now you can ask.
You already answered no.
Okay. I thought you were asking something further.
No, my question was this: you yourself is a part of the world, then you cannot segregate your thought from the world. That was my question.
Question, that was your answer. There's no question, right? Correct. You can't. Any thought you have is part of the world. Oh, I met God. Suppose somebody says, I met God. Where is this thought?
World
Still
only.
world. Still world. What do you mean met God? If you met something that goes away, you haven't met the transcendental, because transcendental doesn't go away. Okay. Deepraj?
Yeah. Janki, you said that this whole concept of Maya is questioning reality, not denying it. But doesn't Vedanta say neti neti, which is a claim? So,
It
it- so it is not questioning; it is claiming that it's
No.
not.
You are claiming something to which Vedanta is saying neti neti. You are saying it is so, and Vedanta says it is not so.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So now shall we begin? Who will?
Hariom, ma'am, I'll start
Please.
if it's okay. What is the world like? What it is its exact nature? Is the world what it appears to be the senses? If the perception of the senses were to determine, then whose senses are to do it? The senses of different beings interpret the world differently. Ants perceive the world in a particular way, while elephants do in another way. And humans perceive it different from ants and elephants. then whose senses are to be relied on? Whose accepts as a standard? That of human, animal, or plant? Living beings view the world as children view their images in convex and concave mirrors. These mirrors produce ludicrous images. They appear long as pine trees or flat as pancakes. Thus, are multifarious versions of the world. The question arises as to the exact nature of the world, what is right, what is wrong. It has provoked philosophers to investigate and reach distinct conclusions. They have laid down conflicting theories. Vedanta reconciles these divergent views and present Vedantic theory of perception. It has needs to be carefully reflected upon.
जानकी जी ये तो हो गया है वापस
हाँ,
क्यों
that's
क्यों किया
what.
है
Yes,
why is reading is already over chapter
this
is
is
over I think
That's what I was searching in vain. Well, where did this come from?
अरे Ganesh is jumping to read
no. I understood after.
Sorry. Did I display something wrong? 1 second.
अरे ओमकार क्या चल रहा है
So all our theories of perception are there.
Doing illusions, right, Maya?
Apologies, something wrong today with me. Ganesh, this is the right one.
Okay, thank you. The questions that bewilder the human mind concern the origin and purpose of the world. Mind remains beset of baffling queries. When did the world begin? Whence the world? Wherefore? These are inconquest inquiries, but the person does not know what he is asking. The question whence, when, whence, wherefore, the world poses two ideas as separate from one another. It places the idea of when, whence, and wherefore on one side, and the idea of the world on the other. But the ideas of when, whence, and wherefore are an integral part of the world. They are not apart from the world. They emanate from time, space, and causation, which are inherent in the world, not beyond it. So the question whence, when, whence, and wherefore of the world have no meaning. They pose a logical fallacy, a, a reasoning in a circle. So most of us have asked this question: where did the world come from? When and where are we going? But we forget to understand that these questions are also part of the world. So this is a logical fallacy, and we are going around in circles. So even questioning is part of the world. It has no meaning according to the family. Ma'am, you're muted, ma'am. Hello, ma'am, you're muted. Yes,
Janki ji, you're muted, Janki ji.
Sorry. So good summary. The speed at which you went, I was wondering how you're going to summarize it, but you did a good job, except for the last bit. It is not that questioning is invalid. What he's trying to draw to our attention is this particular question poses a logical fallacy. Now he's going to explain it, but before he explains it, I'm going to talk about it so that when you're reading further, it will become a little clearer. This is a difficult concept. Okay, this whole chapter is difficult. Please understand you are now entering into the throes of Vedanta. Everybody has come to Vedanta. You have come to spirituality to ask this question: how did this world come about? Where has it come from? When did it come? These are the questions that beset the philosophical mind to question. Remember when you first started, Are these not the questions that were agitating your mind? How did this world start? Where does it begin? Where does space begin? When did time begin? How did all this happen? These are the questions that make you come to the study of Vedanta. And if you remember at the beginning of the book, he had said that. Because you've come with this question. Now he has to answer that question. Now, when trying to answer that question, here's a problem. If you say, when did the world begin? Or how did the world begin? Or because of what did the world begin? How is it because of what? Or where does it begin? Where does space end? Where does space begin? The physicists have mapped the known universe. But is that the beginning? What happens outside that boundary? Is there something? We don't know the answers to those questions. So Ramatirtha, this whole portion is from Ramatirtha. You can also go to the Woods of God Realization and read it up further if you like. Though it's fair, it's the whole thing is covered here. But if you want to the longer form, you can read it there. Now, here is where there's a logical fallacy when you say, what caused the world? Suppose you ask a question, what is the cause of the world? Religious preachers will tell you God is the cause of the world. Physicists will tell you Big Bang is the cause of the world. Each person is trying to answer that question. What Vedanta says is, you can't ask that question. What caused the world? Because if you define the word, when you say world, what do you mean? When you define the world, it means time, space, and causation. What caused the world? This is a question of causation. World is equal to causation. So how can you place causation before causation? When did the world begin? When refers to time. Time is part of the world. Time exists only where the world exists. So how can you say, when did the world start? You're putting the world before the world. Where does the world start? Refers to space. So if you point, this is where it starts, you can't do that because where is inherently part of the world. So what is the world, time, space, and causation? That means how, when, where can only exist in the world. Therefore, you cannot ask these questions with reference to the world. That's a logical fallacy. It's reasoning in a circle. Okay. So it is difficult. I mean, to wrap your head around this concept is very difficult because since we only know the world, we can only think in terms of time, space, and causation. We can't think in terms of anything. And he is saying that this yardstick cannot be applied to the beginning. Because if you posit the beginning, you already know. Okay, I hope that is, I mean, you're not going to be able to agree immediately or even understand immediately. You will have to spend a little bit of time trying to understand the logical fallacy here. It is very difficult, and the reason it is very difficult is because your mind is going to reject. The mind wants an answer. It says, God started the world. I want an answer. Or it starts at that point. I want an answer. The thing is that answer is the impossibility because of the logical fallacy. So, firstly, it's difficult to understand, and secondly, the mind doesn't want this kind of answer. Yeah, Nami.
So when we are asking this, is it like asking what caused the cause?
That's right.
Because there has to be a causeless cause, or I'm not getting.
Yeah, that's the problem. You cannot accept a causeless cause, and you cannot accept that there can be a cause that you cannot you cannot answer the question what causes the cause, because then the first cause. That's the problem. And that's what he's going to use to explain for that there's an inherent problem there. If you say first cause, that's impossible, right? And if you say there's no first cause, then how do the other causes come? So you're sort of stuck.
Yeah. So it's like signs of the gaps, Big Bang.
Oh, okay, it's yeah, he's going to use this concept to build his concept of illusion. Like you're stuck at stage one only, and yet you have certainty. But the moment you touch it, the certainty is gone. How can you have a causeless cause? And how can you not have a first cause? Both ways you can't accept. Okay, so now, who will read the next paragraph? Actually, you can read. Okay, let's do one at a time. Who will read the next? What happened to you all?
I can if it's okay.
Okay, let's see why everybody else is so reticent. Let's come back to you, Ganesh, if we can't get any other volunteers. Okay. Mahesh, you want to read the next one?
Yeah, I can reach it.
Okay.
When you ask,
Are you asking me, ma'am? Janki ji?
Oh, okay. Sorry. Oh, we have two Ganeshas today. No, no. Okay, no, I was speaking to Ganesh Iyer. You can read the
Okay.
next one.
I'll start, ma'am.
No, no, not you, Ganesh Iyer. Ganesh second. Ganesh number 2.
Ganesh, Ganesh Gore, Janki ji.
Ganesh Gore. Oh, okay. Are you
Yeah.
related to Atul Gore?
Sorry?
Are you related to Atul Gore?
Atul Gore from Lakshavedi, I suppose. And
No, from Vedanta Academy.
oh, no.
Okay.
No.
All right. We'll
Okay,
come to,
shall I read? Sorry, ma'am.
We'll come to you. Now, who said they'll read? Omkar, you said you'll read?
Yeah, but Mahesh started reading before me.
Oh, okay,
So,
Mahesh. Now suddenly we have a. Anyway, these are all going to go very fast because all of this to be explained the same. Go ahead, Mahesh.
so when you ask, when did the world begin? You place the world on one side and time on the other. You do not seem to realize that time is an essential part of the world. Your question segregates time from the world. You pull time out of the world and place it apart. In effect, you place the world before the world. You then create the world before it is created. Your question is the same as asking, when did time begin? If you say time began at a particular time, you posit time before the beginning of time. You produce time even before it is created. But the questions, when did time begin? When did the world begin? Therefore, have no pertinence, no meaning. So this continues the idea of the previous chapter and what explanation you gave. Essentially, it is focusing on the time aspect and says that, to posit a beginning of time implies that there is a time before that particular time. And so it's a meaningless question.
Very good. I hope you all are all able to see this, the logical fallacy in this reasoning.
Hariom, ma'am. But science says I'm not a big expert on Big Bang, but out of nothing, Big Bang and the world came. So there was nothing, right? So that nothing is there's no time. That is, it's
Yeah.
I don't know.
So can you say what time this happened? How can you say what time started? That, I mean, like, it makes no sense, right? That question.
Okay. But
Same
world and
for
time
the-
are different, right?
Sorry?
World is a world particular date. Then for practical purposes, we calculate time. Time, I know space and time is difficult, but world is an object. So for that, can we give a
That is the
no?
problem. All your definite about the world is based on an indefinite starting point. So we come to what logical fallacies therefore arise out of this.
I'm looking from Big Bang, ma'am. That's the thing. I don't.
Big Bang, it still doesn't answer the question because you still need to know where did that one teaspoonful of matter come. Big Bang starts from there is all the matter in the world in a very small condensed state, which will be maybe one teaspoonful of matter, highly condensed state. Okay, but where did that come from? You're going to always
Okay.
push it backwards.
Okay. Okay. That matter also. Okay. Understood. Understood, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, Omkar, next one.
In the same strain, you ask, whence this world? When did the world begin? You again segregate space from the world. You do not realize space also is an essential part of the world. When you ask that question, you surround the beginning of space with space. For where cannot be conceived with the idea of space. Where denotes space. Hence, your question produces space even before it is created. Your question, where does the world begin, is the same as where does space begin? It has no meaning. So, from the previous idea of time, here we talk about whence or where. So where is to do with space. So we cannot ask the question where, because within that where is space, and space is part of the world. So it's a kind of a question in circles.
This is something that even the physicists say that you know the concept of the expanding universe. You must have heard that our universe is expanding. Now, when you say our universe is expanding, one of the mind-boggling concepts is that space is expanding. So, how do you answer a question? Where is it expanding into? Because if you say where is it expanding into, space is already there. That means world is already there. So outside space, how can there be space? Because you said it's outside space. When you're saying the universe is expanding, we get a feeling like, that my hands are so much, now they're expanding. But we don't get it that space is expanding. And if space is expanding, what is outside that space? What is it expanding in? That's an impossible question. So, what we are to understand over here is how these questions, though they appeal to the human mind a lot, are actually all just logical fallacies. It's incredibly interesting to ask these questions, but they are merely logical fallacies. Very disappointing to come to an answer such as this, but unfortunately, there is no other rational answer. Okay, Ganesh Gore, you'd like to read the next para?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. The same reasoning holds good for causation as well. The idea of why, wherefore itself refers to causation, and the word is but a chain of causation. Causation. Your question, wherefore this causation, place causation before it is created. You cannot ask that either again. Your question, wherefore, the words is the same as wherefore causation. It is meaningless. This much only.
Yes.
Uh,
Now you can summarize.
I did I didn't get this all this. मतलब ये तो मेरा वो ऊपर से चला गया.
Okay. It is the same. Did you get how you can't ask where does space begin? Because the moment you posit where, you're talking space. You can't ask the question, where does space begin? Similarly, you can't ask the question, how did causation begin? Why is this world there in the first place? Why? Why is a question of causation? So you can't put causation before causation. You can't put causation before the world. It's impossible. That is why this question, what is the first cause? Or what is the causeless cause? You cannot have a first cause. You cannot have a causeless cause. But if you don't have a first cause or a causeless cause, then how do you have the next causes? So what he's trying to tell us is that these questions are all logical fallacies. Is this your first class, Ganesh?
It's my third class, man.
Third class. Oh
Janki
my
ji.
God, you started with theory of perception and came to law of two illusions. Okay, my sympathy is with you. So is it at least somewhat clear that we want to ask these questions? Why did the world start? Where does the world start? When did the world start? We want to ask these questions. But these questions are pertaining to time, space, and causation. So you can't ask the question because you can't place time, space, and causation before the world. You're placing the world before the world. Can't be done, right? Is this at least somewhat clear? Then it's a difficult concept. You have to, you have come into Vedanta at the end of the book almost, where he's coming to his conclusions. So it is a little difficult to sort of wrap our heads around this. All our lives you've asked, why does this world exist?
It's a little bit jargon for me. Jargon of words for me.
Okay, so it's not, yeah, but if you pay attention and think about it, realize that actually has some meaning. Like, think about it. Now, suppose I say space is starting somewhere, right? So then what will be outside that space? Your mind cannot fathom this, na? You can only think space. You can't think beyond space. That's why even when the astrophysicists tell us that the universe is expanding, and that means space is expanding. It's not, we have a feeling that universe is expanding means that the galaxies are moving apart from each other. That's what we think it is. But they say that's not what it is. What it is that the space fabric itself is expanding, and therefore the galaxies appear to be moving apart. So that is only science. That is difficult enough. Now you've come to philosophy, which is worse. So it's a little, are you a science student? You're a student of what?
Science student. I am a pharmacy graduate, and I'm by profession I'm an advocate.
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. All right. So you have science as well as a legal mind. So maybe you will be able to think about it. It is a difficult concept to this. How does space expand? Where is space expanding into? It's difficult to comprehend that. Or in terms of causation. Now I know that I exist because my father existed. My father exists because his father exists. And he exists because his father exists. We know this. There's always a line of causation. So, how did my great first one, how did he come? So, either I have to say he has to just come, which is not possible, or I have to say, like, there is a first cause. Like I say, God. God is there and he created the first man, and then, causation took. I have to give something, right? And that's how religious people or other philosophies, that's how they do it. But Vedanta says that actually that's just not true. Because how are you placing causation before causation? So it takes some time to grasp it. It will take some time. But
Yes, Janki. Yes.
and it also goes against our grain because we can't think beyond time, space, and causation. So it's going against our grain. So it will take some time. Not for you because it's first, for the whole class it will be. I mean, when I first heard of it, I was so irritated. The whole book you have to wait to come to the point of how did the world begin. And when you come to the thing that it is the logical fallacy, right? Why did you make me study all the Vedanta and then bring me to this point? But then when you think about it, you realize what else can you say? Because that's true, right? How can you say causation before causation? The moment you give a cause, world is there. Because world means causation. So how does that even work? The moment you say time, that means world is already there. So how can you say this began there? Because that doesn't make sense. Yes, Elsie.
But Janki ji, now it is appears a logical fallacy because we are not able to conceive with but one day maybe is it possible that science may be able to find an answer?
Never. Never. All that science can do is push the question back. That's all it can do. So now, as of current advice, okay, as far as at least I have read about it, the story is that all the matter of the universe was all in a very densely contracted condition. Okay? And all the matter of universe was so densely contracted that it was the size of maybe 1 teaspoonful of matter. Then something happened, nobody knows what, and that's why it was called the Big Bang. The term Big Bang is a mocking term. It began as a term of mock because one of the other scientists said, what kind of nonsensical theory is this? You're thinking just a Big Bang took place. But that term Big Bang then became popular. So it only began like, what a nonsensical theory. Some Big Bang took place. That's how he said. But that Big Bang, nobody knows. So it was all dense. Then what happened? Nobody knows. But somehow a Big Bang took place. Why did a Big Bang take place? It was lying there in that matter. And why didn't it continue to be there? Nobody knows. But somehow it burst open. And what was born is space, time, and causation. So even now, as I say, that all the matter was in 1 teaspoonful, you think of it hanging somewhere in space.
Yes.
But there was no space. Space was born after the Big Bang.
It's a bakwas hai.
Yeah, I mean, people have spent their lives on this. Go and talk to them. This is now what what Albert Einstein says, that common sense is the sum total of beliefs acquired by age 7.
By
Age 7. What you think is common sense is nothing but your conditioning. These are all difficult things. You have to stretch your mind out. The moment you hear this, you think, kya bakwas hai? Which is very understandable because it doesn't fit. If you study anything about nuclear physics, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit a single concept of your own understanding. Like, you can know the speed of a particle or you can know where it is, but you cannot know both. Why not? But मैं क्या करूं? Schrodinger's thought experiment. If you read all that, पता ही नहीं चल रहा क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे. Omkar.
okay.
Yeah, that's all you can do. But as of now, understand the logical fallacy of putting space before space, time before time, and causation before causation. That's what you have to do as far as your study at the moment is concerned.
Janki ji, I have one question. Can I ask?
One second. Let me just do all the other questions and I'll come to you. Omkar, why and how are both related to causation? Yes. In this context, yes. How you're asking in the sense of how did it come? What is the causation in that sense? So yes, as far as this is concerned. Momita and the fears of AI gaining consciousness. AI cannot gain consciousness. It's not possible. It can gain a certain thing which imitates consciousness. Now, don't argue with me on that. This is holding a red flag to Mahesh, who will now not let me go for making statements like this. But consciousness is a different ball game, at least as far as Vedanta is concerned. Narendra Singh Negi. Just very quickly, because we're already at 11:31.
Janki ji, once we understand it is a logical fallacy, we can't place the world before the world, then all my questions regarding the origin of word is put to rest. Then what is the next question then?
Yeah, we'll come to it. He's going to build on this. This is, remember, the first page of this chapter. This is the base. He's going to build on this base. So we will take it forward from here. He's not concluding. This is his first paragraph.
Yeah, okay.
So wait, we are coming there.
Thank you.
Second statement. I think Vedanta treatise
Ganesh,
really
Ganesh Gore is before you. Yes,
okay.
Ganesh Gore.
Yes, Janki ji, as you mentioned, like nuclear physics. So, are there difference between nuclear physics, quantum physics, metaphysics? All are the same, one and the same thing.
No, they're different. Metaphysics is a very different ballgame. Metaphysics will deny everything that quantum physics and nuclear physics wants to say.
Okay. All these three things are these three concepts are different from one another. Okay.
Ganesh Iyer.
Every confusing theory is very simple in a manner so that we don't go so deep and get confused, right? Because at the end of the day, theory of
Can't hear a word you're
appease
saying.
the mind. Hello? Is it clear now? So I think Vedanta treatise has kept this very crisp because this is a theory of creation, right? And all theories are to appease the mind.
Except now we are not giving a theory of creation. There's no theory of creation given. This is not a theory of creation. This is telling you why a theory of creation is not possible.
Okay, understand. Yes. Understand, yes. So
So then that's it for this time. I hope you people are giving or have given or are about to give your exam on the theory of perception. So Mahesh, is it ready? Whenever it is ready, please.
It's ready today.
It's ready. So
It will
please.
be ready today.
It will be ready. Okay. So you please do your exam on the previous chapter before you get too deeply into this chapter. And then of course you will get your certificate for having done it. So each chapter you can give an exam so you know that you have largely got what that chapter is to say. Okay. All right. So that's it for today. Hari Om.
Hey,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hari Om.